Hello, I'm Casey Holdahl, beat reporter for the Trailblazers. He is Lamar Hurd, television analyst, also for the Trailblazers. And this is Doing the Right Thing Matters, presented by our friends at Les Schwab. And today we're going to compare Carmelo Anthony 2020 with Carmelo Anthony when he came into the league as the third overall pick of the 2003 NBA draft out of Syracuse.
Yes.
Quite a long career for Carmelo. Some things have changed and some things haven't. And we're going to talk about maybe some of the things that he's been doing his entire career and some of the things that maybe he's added to his career. So just in general, Lamar, your thoughts on Carmelo and just kind of the things that he brings to a game throughout his entire career.
One of the best scorers the game has ever seen. One of the strongest players to play at his position. He's just been a mismatch for a lot of people his whole career. And I think his skill set case has allowed him to transition from coming in the league as a 3 and now being able to play a 4, and with certain lineups, even a 5 if you go kind of small ball. Melo has one of the quickest jab steps I think I've ever seen. Not just for a dude his size, but just in general. His jab step game is phenomenal. And then his ability to release his shot before you can even get a hand up to contest. He's always had that great combination. So I think one thing, Case, is we've had the opportunity to watch him this season on a night in, night out basis that I've realized more and more about him is how high his basketball IQ is.
Oh, absolutely.
He sees plays before they happen. He'll pass his teammates open. Times when they don't even realize, I just set the screen, my man is playing the high side. If I just maybe slip out right now, I'm wide open. There's nobody there because of how my man is playing. I can't count how many times I've seen this year already where Melo will watch a Dame or CJ pick and roll take place. He'll see Hassan's man in that action. Ball gets swung to Melo, and he's releasing a ball as it's getting to him because he knows, Hassan, you're automatically open because your man is out there with Dame or CJ. And no matter who rotates, you're not going to be as big as the man that was just guarding you, so I'm throwing you the ball. And just the way that he sees several plays ahead is really impressive. He looks like a guy that has played as many seasons as he's played at the level.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, not just some dude that's just been in the league trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I've succeeded at a really high level. I know how this stuff works. I know how offenses work. I know how defenses works. And then defensively, where Melo has received some criticism throughout his career on that end of the floor, he's been better on that end of the floor than I realized because, again, we're getting a chance now to see him play all the time. He communicates things early. When the Blazers go zone, Melo's in the back of that. He's always talking. He's always pointing ahead of time of what's open and what's not. And his teammates look up to him so much. You got superstars on the team. You got Damian Lillard, one of the top players in the league, CJ right there behind him, who look up to this guy because of all that he's accomplished throughout his career.
And you just that innate skill and that knowing what things are going to happen when they happen, you can see it every single game. And now it's something that obviously I think he's probably added to his game, where you learn throughout the course of 16 seasons in the NBA, just that rhythm and just, again, like seeing things on the court and having that knowledge to be like, oh, I've seen this before, and like reacting to it just like that is something that he's obviously been able to add to his game. But there was something you mentioned before that I wanted to go back to, strength.
Yeah.
Carmelo, I think, particularly with small forwards, and that's how he came into the league, as you mentioned, as a small forward. You don't really talk about strength of those guys a lot. You know, nowadays it's more about like speed and how high can you jump and those kind of things. But you know, when Carmelo came into the league, even as a 19-year-old, like he was built. Like, and he's a guy too where he's been able to use that strength his entire career to his advantage. And you know, as the league has gone more and more towards guys like Carmelo being more power forwards than small forwards, it's really served him well, and because he still has that size. And while you look at Carmelo, it's not like you're not seeing like bulging muscles or anything, but it's just that man strength.
Power it is. Yeah,
exactly.
Grown man strength.
You can see, particularly when he has mismatches, that gets back to him knowing instantly, like, well, I have a mismatch here, so I'm going to go into my action. And being able to utilize those mismatches, which in today's NBA too, you see more and more like big guys just don't really know how to go into the post and use their bodies to get to the rim. And Carmelo is a throwback in that sense, in that he knows exactly what to do as soon as that ball gets put to him in the post. Yep. He's going to use his size, he's going to use his back to move you off, and then, like you talked about, he's going to use that dribble penetration, that jab step to get you off your center, and then he's either going to go around you, which he probably doesn't do as much anymore as he did when he first came into the league, or he's going to raise up and take that mid-range jumper, which you talked about is something he's had in his toolbox basically his entire career.
He's always been one of the top isolation players in the league. Something we've seen him do more of is accept this new role on this team now that's led in scoring by Damian and CJ. And instead of always direct entry into Melo, maybe we go screen, pick and pop, pick and roll, then we post you. And he's been able to adjust and empower those guys in that. Because like we were talking about, those guys look up to him because they respect him. There's a healthy respect there for all that he's accomplished. So it goes a long way when a Carmelo Anthony walks into your locker room and says, no, you the man, and you the man. I'm going to play off of you. Right away, that says, wow, this Hall of Famer has continued to empower us in a situation where we're already empowered. So now that feeds into the culture that's already established. It's all team first. Let's work together on it. And that's why we've been able to see games where Melo's making a pick and pop jumper at the end of the game to clinch a win for the Blazers, or they can go direct post up into him and he's just getting it done. He's just a all-time great. And I'm really glad we got a chance to cover him.
Absolutely. I have the opportunity to work with him and to really kind of find out who he is as a person, and kind of some of the stuff you had heard about kind of later on in his career, just completely not jibing with kind of what you're actually seeing in front of you and talking to. Like I don't know if that's changed or if we just got the wrong impression, because like it's really been an absolute pleasure to work with Carmelo. 100%. It's been really fun, and it's really fun to watch him play too. I mean, and I think as the NBA's changed, like it's kind of moved away from Carmelo's style of play, but I think he's done a pretty good job of not so much changing his game, but just figuring out like what are the things that I can still do, and when can I do those things to really make a difference. And I think he's done a phenomenal job of that with the Blazers.
I agree completely.